Good afternoon, students. Hope you all are fine. You're staying at your home and you are taking all the measuring measures to fight against corona and all. Uh, Hope you are following all the guidelines and all. Okay, so welcome to today's class. Today we are going to revise uh, the first chapter, Introduction to Chemistry. Let's do that. Today we will be discussing the important points and all from this chapter. Okay, and uh, in our last class, in our previous class, uh, in study material I have provided the uh, curriculum, so hope you have gone through that properly. We will be following the curriculum. Okay, so let's start. So today we will be discussing scientists and their contributions. Then what is chemistry? Brief discussion on it. Then chemistry in our day-to-day life, and then application of chemistry with examples we will be discussing. So first of all, here we will be discussing only three great scientists and their inventions and contributions on chemistry, and in science we will be saying. Okay, so many other are there, but in our syllabus, as we are just following the curriculum, so only these three we will be doing. Okay, so first one is Antonio Lavoisier. Here just you have to uh, know the name of the scientist and their contribution. Okay, so this much will be enough. So Antonio Lavoisier, and his contribution is he named oxygen and hydrogen, and he discovered the role of oxygen in combustion and respiration. Okay, so these two are the main contribution of Lavoisier. Here if you just remember the surname Lavoisier, because with this only the scientists they are mostly known with this. Okay, so full name, if you can't remember, it's okay, only Lavoisier will be enough. The same case we will be following for this John Dalton. His main contribution is atomic theory. On this he worked, and this will be his main contribution. Next, Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev, or Mendeleev we will be saying. Okay, Mendeleev, he is famous for his periodic table. Okay, so these three. Next, what is chemistry? We can say it as chemistry. It's a branch of science that deals with the composition, structure, and properties of the substances around us. It also explains the changes that they undergo. So it's a branch of science. Chemistry is a branch of science which deals with the composition, structure, and property of the substances. Composition means it's made up of what? That is its composition, its structure, and properties of the substances around us, and it also explains the changes that they undergo. Next, we will be application of chemistry we will be doing. So first of all, food. There are main three kind of foods are there: carbohydrate, protein, and fat. In biology also we must have done this. So a carbohydrate, its example is starch, sugar. These are carbohydrates are our main energy producer, we will be saying. Okay, and in carbohydrate, in all the type of carbohydrate, there are main three uh, elements are there, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, these three elements are there present in carbohydrate. Next, protein. These are the proteins are bodybuilder food. Okay, example of proteins are fish, meat, etc. So here, other than carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen is present. Okay, actually nitrogen is the main element of protein, we will be saying. Okay, so carbon, hydrogen, oxygen along with nitrogen. Next, fat. This is again energy producer. Example of fat are oil, ghee, etc. And again for fat, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, these three elements are there. Examples of carbohydrate, protein and fat. Next, preservation of food. Why we need to preserve the food? Okay, to increase its shelf life, so that we can consume the food, we can use the food for a long time. Okay, so how we will preserve? We can use airtight containers, which will prevent the food from coming in contact with moist air. Okay, and without moist air the bacteria cannot grow, so it will prevent the food to get spoiled. Next, dehydration. Removal of moisture from food item can preserve them for a longer time. Okay, so as microorganisms do not grow in dehydrated food due to lack of water. Okay, without water microorganisms, they cannot survive, they cannot grow, so it will increase the life of food, shelf life of food. Next, here we can use some chemical food preservatives also. So such chemical food preservatives are most common food preservative, we can say as sodium benzoate. This we can use for fruits and vegetables. Okay, and acetic acid is also there, that is commonly known as vinegar. You all know this vinegar we generally use, it's there only in our house and all. And this vinegar or acetic acid is the chemical name for vinegar. So this we use to preserve pickles and sauces. So these two are the chemical food preservatives we use generally. Okay, other than these two, many other food preservatives are also there, but for now these two will be enough for us. Next, cosmetics. Cosmetics help to remove the dirt from skin, and it improve one's appearance. So these two are the reason why we use cosmetics. Example of cosmetics, so many are there. Okay, nail paint, we can say as kajal, or so many are there, you know that. Okay, so any example will be for this things. Actually examples are required. Okay, when we will be discussing the question pattern and all, and in the exercises also you have seen that, so examples are required here. Okay, so one of the example of cosmetics is it's a well-known cosmetic, we will be saying as talcum powder. Okay, this talcum powder is manufactured from the mineral named talc. Talc's chemical name is hydrated magnesium silicate. This is the chemical name for talc, which we use to use in talcum powder. Next, clothing. Natural fiber, there are actually three kind of clothing, we can say. These fibers are three kind of fibers are there: natural fiber, synthetic fiber and blended fiber. blended fabric we will be saying. Okay, so natural fiber, it from the name only we can just understand that obtained from plants or animals, from natural product we will be saying. Okay, so natural fiber is obtained from plants or animals. Example is cotton, wool, silk, jute. These are the natural fiber. Whereas wool, silk, this too we get from animals, and cotton, jute, this we get from plants. Synthetic fiber, these manufactured in factories using chemicals. By the name synthetic, we can get to know that these are not natural. Okay, these are man-made. So in factories we generally manufacture this synthetic fiber. Examples are nylon, polyester. These are, so two example will be enough for this. Blended fabric, a mixture of natural and synthetic fiber. Okay, so polycot, that is polyester, which is a synthetic fiber, and cotton, which is a natural fiber. So a mixture of these two is polycot. So this is an example of blended fabric. Next, medicines. These are very much important. So here we will be going to read this type of drug, their examples and their uses. Okay, most of the drugs you know the names and their uses also, because in our daily life we use those. So antibiotics, this is the type of drug. Examples, antibiotics means this type of drugs, they prevent infection caused by microorganisms. That's why this name. Okay, so from this also, actually this will be more clear when we will be discussing the question pattern. Okay, like the type of drug which prevent infection caused by microorganisms. So the type of drug will be antibiotics, like this. Okay, example of such type of drug will be penicillin, streptomycin, etc. Next, antipyretics. Pyretics means, anti means it reduce. Okay, and pyretics means this came from the term fever. Okay, so antipyretics means the drug which reduce fever. And example of this kind of drug are aspirin, paracetamol. Next, analgesic. This is again the term is pain reliever. Analgesic means pain reliever. Okay, and example, same example which we gave for antipyretics drug also. Okay, so aspirin, paracetamol, these two can be used as antibiotics as well as analgesic. Okay, antiseptic, this prevents infection in wounds. Okay, so it will not let get septic. Okay, so that's why antiseptic. Anti means in negative term we will be using this. Okay, so antiseptic means prevents infection in wounds. So example of this kind of drug is neem, tincture of iodine, or you can write as microchrome also. Okay, this also can be used as antiseptic. Next, antacid, which will prevent us from acids. Okay, so relieve stomachache due to acidity. Example of antacids are can be given as milk of magnesia. Okay. Other than this, if you are writing like diazine or any kind of antacid, if you write, that will be okay then. Okay, any proper example will be enough. Next, industrial uses. There are three type of industry we are going to discuss, that is agriculture, consumer products and construction. So in agriculture, fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides and fungicides. These four we will be discussing. Okay, so these are the chemicals. Fertilizers, they provide nutrients to the crops. So the nutrients which plant require for their proper growth and all, that can be provided with by the fertilizers. Okay, pesticides, these prevent damage of crops from pests. Insecticides prevent damage of crops from insects, and fungicide prevent damage of crops from fungi. So these are, by the name only we can understand what is their uses and all. Okay, so now we are going to learn some examples of this. So examples, some common fertilizers, urea, sodium nitrate, potash, ammonium phosphate, etc. So any two or all these four, these are easy, you know, these are commonly used, maybe you have heard the name also. So this four you do for fertilizers: urea, sodium nitrate, potash, ammonium phosphate. Next, pesticides, malathion is the, many other are there, but only one is enough. So pesticide which prevent pests, their example is malathion. Insecticides which prevent insects, so DDT, BHC, these two are example of insecticides. Full form of DDT and BHC is not required. Okay, but DDT is dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, and BHC is benzene hexachloride. So DDT is dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane and BHC is benzene hexachloride. Next, fungicide, example is Bordeaux mixture. This can be used as fungicide. Next, consumer products, these are the examples. It may be soap, detergent, or biscuits can be there. Okay, sauces, all can be given as consumer product. Next, construction. So here also examples are only, you can just give the examples, that will be enough. So brick, cement, sand, paint, or paint, varnishes, these are the mortar, these are the examples of some substances which we use in construction site. Okay, so these examples are required here. Now we are going to we will be discussing the worksheet of previous class. So this worksheet was given. If you don't have pen and paper, just run and bring up pen and paper. Okay, so always you just keep a pen and paper with you during the class. Okay, you will be requiring those. So let's start. An element is a dash as it has atoms of only one kind. So an element is a pure substance as it has atoms of only one kind. Next, a symbol represents one dash of an element, one atom of an element. A symbol, the symbol we can represent only one atom of an element. Okay, a dash always contains the same elements combined together chemically in a fixed ratio. A dash contains the same elements combined together chemically in a fixed ratio. This will be a compound always contains the same elements combined together chemically in a fixed ratio. Dash is either absorbed or given out when a compound is formed. Energy is either absorbed or given out when a compound is formed. Next, the elements present in ammonia are dash and dash. So ammonia's chemical formula is NH3. So the elements present is N stands for nitrogen and H for hydrogen. So the elements present in ammonia are nitrogen and hydrogen. Dash is used in the preparation of glass. This will be silica. Silica is used in the preparation of glass. Silica is it's a SiO2, silicon dioxide. This is used in the preparation of glass. Next, a sieve consists of a dash placed over a frame. This will be frame. It's a printing mistake. So this will be frame. So a sieve consists of a mesh placed over a frame. Okay, mesh, M-E-S-H. A sieve consists of a mesh placed over a frame. It's the porous plate that is called mesh placed over a frame. The technique of dash is used daily in our houses to separate tea leaves from tea using a dash. The technique of filtration is used daily in our houses to separate tea leaves from tea using a stainer. Okay, so the first dash is for filtration and the second dash is for stainer. Okay, stainer. Next, state whether the following statements are true or false. An element consists of atoms of different kind. This is false. A compound is pure and homogeneous. This is true. A symbol represents one atom of an element. This is true. The smallest particle of a compound is a molecule. Smallest particle of a compound is molecule. This is true. Wood produces heat energy on burning and is used as fuel. This is again true. A mixture has uniform and constant composition throughout the whole sample. It's wrong. This is only possible when the mixture is homogeneous, but for heterogeneous mixture, this will be false. Okay, for heterogeneous mixture, the composition is not uniform throughout the whole sample. Next, the constituents of a mixture are not chemically combined together. Constituents of a mixture are not chemically combined together. Yes, this is true. The size of component particles is not an important factor in the separation of mixture. No, this is false. The size of component particles is an important factor in the separation of mixture. Next, sedimentation and decantation are used to separate a homogeneous mixture of a solid and a liquid. Sedimentation and decantation are used to separate a heterogeneous mixture of solid and liquid. So this will be false. Next, evaporation is employed to separate a soluble solid component from a liquid. Evaporation is employed to separate a soluble solid component from a liquid. Yes, this is true. Next, choose the correct option. Silicon and arsenic are metalloids. Noble gases are present only in traces in air. Okay, noble gases are present only in traces in air. The symbol of lead is Pb. Next, which of these cannot be separated by filtration? So by filtration we cannot separate a mixture of sugar and milk, because in milk sugar will get dissolved. So by filtration we cannot separate the mixture, we cannot separate the component of the mixture. Okay, next, match the column. Gold and silver, these are metals. So for match the columns, how we will be writing, you just write side by side. Suppose gold and silver, this will match with metals, so metals you will be writing the side of gold and silver. So here you will be writing metals. Next, silicon and phosphorus, these are non-metal. Silicon and phosphorus, non-metals. Next, boron and antimony, these are metalloids. Milk is a mixture. Atom, smallest unit of an element. And filtration, remove pulp from fresh juice. Okay, so these are the, this is the worksheet which we have which I gave in our last class. Okay, so this is all for today, students. Hope you are getting the lessons properly, you are understanding. It's always a bit difficult through this medium to because I can't get whether you are getting the things or not. Okay, so I'm trying to make it simple as much as I can. So hope you are getting that. Okay, so just go through the study material, do the classes properly, do the worksheets, just whatever worksheets I'm providing, you just solve those properly. These are easy on you. Okay, so you just regularly do the classes, you just keep in touch with study and all, then it's not so tough in that manner, I hope. Yes, so next day also we will be doing the revision and all. So till then, have a nice day. Thank you.